Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Tuesday to you all. I completely forgot that this was a thing that was happening today. PIXY have dropped a digital album. This caught me completely off guard. I remember seeing PIXY on the release calendar, but back then the name of it hadn't been announced yet. And I don't actually remember ever seeing a post about the name of the album being dropped on Instagram or what have you. But I woke up this morning, saw it on the release calendar, so here we are. We're going to be checking out PIXY's The Voice EP. Which makes me sad to say, because this EP technically is 3 songs and an English version of the title, which, sad hours. And I saw a mini album, I was kind of hoping like 5 or 6 songs, but we only got 3. Singular tear. But I'm not going to complain too much. The fact that we get brand new PIXY music is enough for me, so let's check it out one time. Usually we do the title track first, like an MV for the title track, and then do the rest of the album. But there is no MV for the title track, so we're just gonna send the entire album all at once. If you're new around here, you've never been around for one of these album listens before, timeline below is gonna be chapter based off of whatever song we're listening to, so you can refer to that. And unfortunately, there's also no lyric videos at the moment, so we're just gonna pull up the old YouTube music and full send it from there. So, if you're in it for the long haul like me, welcome aboard. Let's get started. DJ, roll the intro. A little bit sad that there really isn't a whole lot of stuff going on attached to this. Like, I think the fact that it is a digital mini album might be why. I've seen some conversations going around that this is in kind of relation to their upcoming EU tour, and the fact that this is more music to add to set lists and things like that, which is very cool. I kind of wish I was still living in the UK because they had a London stop that I was considering going to, but it just didn't work in my schedule, and well, of course now I live in the US for the time being, so that's unfortunate, but that's enough waffling for me. Let's get started. This is Truth or Dare, track number 1. Lyrics by Yi, Ju Hyung, Jo Young Bae, Jasmine. Same people on composition as well as arrangements. All right, here we go. I like the groove. That was a nice, very subtle 2-part harmony in there as well. Oh, that's a little bit more of a tamer release than I thought it was going to have. There's the bigger release. Got a little bit of a disco vibe going here. Definitely going disco funky vibe. I like it. It's a little bit more lighthearted than their Chosen Karma release from earlier in the year. I was wondering when we were going to get a little rap verse in here. Yeah, the release is Like the song's little ebbs and flows and the feeling of the song is not very extreme. But I think because of it, the song grooves really nicely. And that secondary release is really nice too, which makes me wonder if this is technically the chorus and the first release is technically the pre-chorus. I'm too busy jamming along to the song to clock it. So like how kind of elasticy their vocals are again. Oh, it's still going. Climb up there in the range. Yeah, I love how fluid the vocal part is on this. I'm trying to think back on my like PIXY discography knowledge. I don't know a whole lot like off the top of my head. But I feel like for most of their, at least title tracks, it's a little bit more firmer in like where they sit in like what pitch they're singing. So to kind of have a song that is a little bit groovy and have the vocals kind of reflect that grooviness by getting a little bit more fluid, I think is a really nice touch. I very much enjoyed that. Yeah, honestly, I was too busy grooving along to the song that I kind of forgot to pay attention to like where in the song we were and stuff like that. But if the vibe of the song is good, I'm not going to complain about getting distracted by it. You know what I mean? Good start. I do like that it's a little bit brighter than Karma, or in fact, their recent titles. It's like what, Bewitched, Villain. I mean, Karma wasn't the darkest thing in the world, but PIXY have kind of like built themselves a reputation for having a little bit of like a darker, more dramatic, like heavier sound on a lot of their music. So to get something that's a little bit playful, a little bit more bright in comparison to the other stuff, this would probably be considered brighter than what they're normally doing. So I like that directional change so far. All right, what do we have next? This is The Letter, track number 2. Lyrics by Lee Ju-hyung, Jo Young-bae, Verana. Same team on composition and arrangement. All right, here we go. Oh, why'd they cut the guitar there? Are we getting a ballad? I thought the beat would change a little bit. No, we're still keeping the guitar only. It's just that the guitar fills more of the measure than the da-da-da-da instead of the 4 hit from the verse part. I love the way they've recorded this. Ooh. It's the exact formula for an effective ballad for me. One instrument, one vocal part, that's it. Okay, so now we're getting some production behind it. Nice octaves. Three-part harmony. And then offset it with the high vocal again. Yeah, this is great. It's like every single phrase is being contrasted in some way during that transition. And it's just in the vocal top line too. Ooh, oh, that's a release. Hold on. That's also a high note. I don't know their voice is blind yet, but is that Sua back on the high note again? Ooh. Now hold on a minute. PIXY in their ballad era? Oh, I'm so here for it. Oh yes. So the ballad formula thing I mentioned earlier, I've always thought that the best way, the most effective way to push emotions in a ballad is to have one instrument with one vocal. Just those two. It's such a simple formula, but I think just the rawness of it, the exposedness of having one vocalist with one instrument just really hammers home the true emotional value of the song. And so to have essentially the entire first verse of the song be just the various members singing their part after the next member and then the next member, paired with that kind of reverby resonator guitar type vibe, is so pretty. And the fact that it just stays like that for so long. And then once you get to the growth part for the next verse, it's like, oh, we are going to do a little bit, but we're not going to do too much with it. So you like kick it up into gear, and you feel the song ever so slowly start to grow. It's like proving a loaf of bread before you throw it in the oven. You know, you knead it, you put it in your tin, you wrap it, put it somewhere warm, and let it prove, and it just slowly rises, right? When you put everything in the bowl or in a stand mixer, you mix it together, you just get this like lump of dough. It doesn't look all that impressive, but you put it away for a little bit, you come back, and it's this nice plump loaf of unbaked bread dough. That's what the letter feels like to me. It's like you spend the first verse like mixing everything together, get all the individual members, maybe bring in some instruments here and there, and then you set it off to the side to prove, and that is that final flourish that you get. And I think that is freaking brilliant. In fact, I kind of want to hear that big rush again. I don't usually do this in album listens, but it's my channel, I can do what I want. The octave harmony too, such a simple thing, very effective at adding a nice texture to it. That's the one! If I ever heard this song live, you bet your ass whenever that huge rush comes in, I'm bawling my eyes out. Wow! And I am envious of all the people that get to hear this live. Oh! But we have one more song to go, and this one is kind of special because this is PS. This is song number 3. Now, there's 4 songs on the album, but the final one is just an English version of Truth or Dare. And we don't usually do different language ones unless it's like something really out there, like Juanes' Spanish version of Baila Conmigo. But lyrics by all the members. We love a little member composition credit in here. Well, I guess a lyrical credit, but you know, same difference. Like Lola, Dia, Sua, Dajong, and Rinji all on vocals. Is this... I forget if Rinji had lyrical credits on Chosen Karma. But if it isn't, this is Rinji's first lyric credit. So, round of applause, round of applause. Okay, composition Yi Ju-hyung, Jo Young-bae, Jasmine, Kim Yong-ju, same team on arrangement. All right. Let's send it one time. It's got the recipe of a ballad, but it's too fast to be one. The fingerstyle guitar is a very nice touch, though. With the breathy up-close mic'd vocal? Jesus, vocal. I told you I couldn't articulate words today. Super delicate high note kick there. Oh, straight up PIXY in their ballad era. Okay. Man, I really wish there were lyric videos or like translated lyrics out for this, because the fact that all the members had a part in writing it makes me think this is probably a fan song of sorts, and those you really want the context of the lyrics for, but... Again, very, very subtle harmonies in the background. Nice touch of reverb there. That's a very nice aesthetic touch to just add the reverb for that one held note. Oh yeah. Like, the album might be called The Voice. This might as well be called PIXY the Ballad or PIXY the Encore. Like, all 3 songs would be perfect for an end of the show vibe. Sustain it. Sustain it. Long sustain. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. And you can kind like, without understanding the words, you can feel the sincerity in that song, I think. It's there were moments through that where it was very classic Pixie, like having Lola in her low voice rapping in her like little slower cadence on a song like this. Usually you don't really hear raps in a ballad because they're stylistically inappropriate usually, but she wove that in very nicely. The vocals are super pretty, very balanced song, nice amount of harmonies, very subtle harmonies, but nice amount of harmonies nonetheless. And yeah, as someone who has a very very big soft spot for ballads in general, this is a great time for me. Like the letter and PS, both of them very much play into my ballad loving heart, and I love that. It's I quite like that this digital album is almost like PIXY showing off their more vulnerable side in a way. Like PIXY have always been this, confident, aggressive, kind of dark theme group, right? So to have them do something that's a little bit more softer, a little bit more gentle, a little bit more raw, I think is a really nice switch up. And I'm gonna guess that these probably are a part of the end of an album, or not the end of an end of a concert series, or like the end of a concert show. So like when you see all the members go off on their stage costumes, the lights go out, fans ask for an encore, they rush out in like tour merch, t-shirts and sweatshirts and what have you, and they sing these 3 songs on the show's over. That's what I'm guessing is going to happen with these. But if that's the case, I think these 3 songs do a heck of a job. Because all 3 of them would be right at home at the end of an album. Where typically like ballads and those kind of show-ending songs would come on a typical pop album. But we just kind of got an entire, I'll call it an extended single, but it's essentially an extended single full of just show-enders, and I think that's brilliant. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It's definitely not the kind of dark and mysterious PIXY, but I think this is a much needed kind of project for them in a way, where it's like, this is PIXY in their like raw and true era in a way, so to speak. And I reckon the fans are really going to enjoy this. And honestly, people who are going to go see this live, pack a packet of tissues, because there's like both the letter and PS are probably going to be criers, and no shame in crying at a concert, let me tell you that. Like if your emotions get to you when listening to a song, that means the song did its job. And if that means it leads to tears, that's just what it was meant to do. And I think like all 3 songs on this are absolutely gorgeous. I think the letter might take song of the album for me personally. Though having said that, there really isn't much. How dare you interrupt me, NordVPN? There really isn't anything like separating all 3 songs apart from each other. In actuality, I think the entire project is great. And while this is nice and all, I do look forward to what PIXY have in store next for their for the PIXY like main character arc, so to speak, a little bit darker, a little bit heavier music. Because at the end of the day, this is great, and I think this is a very refreshing change of pace for PIXY and their discography. But I do like the typical PIXY stuff, and I look forward to what they have next, because Chosen Karma this year was mint. And I've been looking forward to whatever they had coming out next. It just happened to be this, and I can't complain about it one bit. Actually, I can't complain about it one bit. I'm jealous of all the EU fans who get to go and listen to this, because I no longer live there anymore, and I'm angry. But anyways, that is it for me today. Thank you all for listening along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness to may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, Even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.